far, like I have participated in a lot of extracurricular activities. Like I'm a part of SAE. I was also a part of my college club Epsilon, which is under SAE, and I've been handling projects and overall college seminars and workshops. So in my college. Apart from that, I have also participated in competitive student competitions. Like I have just participated in Formula Bharat, which is in which student teams actually make and design cars, and they compete with each other across India. So I participated in that. Also, um, yeah. My interests are mainly in the field of rocket propulsion and aerodynamics, but mainly in the field of rocket propulsion. I want to. My main purpose of going abroad and studying over there is to make new connections, find new people, expand my vision, and understand my field a lot more. So that's one thing that I want to know from you a bit more. Also, like the job opportunities available over there because of the ITAR, as I told you. ITAR is a big concern for me, and I don't know like what options will be available for me once I do my masters, because that's one big thing, because I'll be taking 100% student loan, and that's one thing. I wanted your advice in like which university should I be selecting out of the two, which I told you, and um, yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
Okay. So you said the two universities, Urbana-Champaign and another one it was?
Illinois, University of Illinois. At another is University of Michigan.
Michigan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question is, if I have to tell me your dream job after you complete your master's, what would that be? A company, whatever that would be.
Okay, so I would like to work in an environment where I will be challenged, and
No, you
mainly
will be
I would
challenged everywhere. That's not the point. The question is different. The question is,
yeah
where do you want to work?
yeah. So I would like the specific company you are asking, or
Yeah,
like
I
which
mean,
field?
just what comes to your mind? Like, if I graduate, I wish I would get a job in this company, because this is what I
Yeah.
want to do.
So
Because but my point
okay,
here is,
okay,
you might find a job any company you may not like, but right. But my question to you is, there is a reason why you are paying so much money, right? Because you want
right,
to get
right,
you want to go to a certain place where you are right now. It's not possible. You know what I mean?
right,
So that is the
right,
reason
right.
I'm asking you this specific question is, why you are paying that much money, because you want to land somewhere, and where that would be specific. I mean, you can be challenged in
Okay,
your home also. That's not the point. Yeah, go ahead.
right, right, right. So mainly, I would like to work on domains like rocket propulsion systems, and like the companies would be that comes to my mind right now is like would be SpaceX, Boeing, um, and Airbus. So these are few companies that come to my mind, like which are in the top at that field, and people they hire are like incredible people. I've seen their profiles, and I've spoken to some of them, and they are extremely talented people. And working around them would be like,
Yeah. So my next question too would be is, what if you don't get a
yeah,
job there? Because here's the thing. You already told me the answer to that question, so I don't want to repeat it. It's not possible for you to get a
yeah,
job there,
right, right,
right? So my question to you is again, by all these things, why still you want to come and have it? Because trust me, there is no way you're gonna get the job there. Not possible.
mm,
No, I'm not questioning your intelligence just because of your status.
yeah,
There
okay,
there will be no company that will work in that domain will hire you. As simple as that.
right,
So my question would be is, by knowing this information already, what like because this is an obvious question that comes from any aerospace student, to be honest. And you are not the first one I'm talking about. I have spoken to students who have graduated and is struggling. And I spoke to one student actually, I think a month back or 2 months back. He's at Alabama Huntsville in aerospace. He just joined here. And this the same question goes for everyone, right? And even for me, when I was a student as a F1, I mean, my field was not aerospace even, but for me, it was difficult to find a job um, in general in an industrial sector. Again, I'm not talking about students who come to work for or who get a degree in computer science or something, because that's different. But people who come for a core sector, things are a little bit different for them, right?
Right.
And you're talking about then very specific aerospace. Uh, and if you are trying to find a job in an aerospace company, forget about main companies like you mentioned Lockheed or SpaceX or Raytheon, Pratt and Whitney, whatever it is for that matter. It's not possible. They're not going to hire you, because the first thing first, they will ask you, do you have a green card? And actually not even a green card, they will ask you, do you have a citizenship? It's that clear, right? So my question to you is, um, if is this is the information you are telling me, that this is what I want to land, you need to probably then rethink that why you want to pay that much money and come. But because if you tell me,
So,
no, my idea is to come to US and find a job, and no matter what it is, and I'm okay with that, then I won't give you that answer. I'm saying that, yeah, then come, fine, you will probably find a job somewhere. But if he's gonna say, this is what I this is the only reason I'm paying that much money and I want to come, then my answer would be, don't come, because that's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that then really you have to ask a question. So students who come from India or from who are not a US citizen or so matter, and they have a degree in aerospace, what they do, right? That's the question you need to ask. So the question is, answer to that is very simple. Then they probably land up doing a job which has nothing to do with aerospace. I spoke. This was like 8 months back. Actually, I was speaking to a girl who was from Mumbai, and this was right when the COVID hit in March 2020, and she was working for not for an aerospace company, for a company who makes some parachutes or something. She's in my LinkedIn, Girija. I think her name is, no, not Girija. Dhanshri, I think, something like that. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, right around COVID hit, and she was very worried about that she's going to lose her job, even in that company. She did an aerospace or something, and she was very passionate about it. My advice to her was the same. That don't say even that your degree is in aerospace. Don't mention that when you're looking for a job, because first, if you're going to say that and you're going to apply to a company which is not an aerospace company, that then they're not going to hire you, right? Then the second thing is, if you're gonna come and you're gonna say, okay, I although I have a degree in aerospace, but my specialization is in materials, let's say, for example, or fluid mechanics, then you will be not working with a aerospace company, but maybe something else. So keep that in your mind.
yeah.
When you make that decision, because when as soon as you land here and you join the program, and both universities are really good universities, I know many people there, even the professors, but what I'm saying is, as soon as you land there, this is the first question that will come to your mind, and everybody will talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so and I'm not going to talk about I don't know your financial statuses and how wealthy you are, that it's okay for you to pay money, because if it's okay for you to pay that much money, yeah, sure, have an education. You might have brand associated with your degree, but will that be helpful to you to get the job? I'm not sure, because the reason is very simple. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna give you a very straightforward answer, so you can make your own decision that after that. So what I'm saying is just rethink. All I'm saying is, see, I'm not saying that you did a good job in getting to admit to those schools. Not everybody gets it, but at the same time, you have to understand these schools run business, right? They want money from you, and unlike in India, where schools have some sort of a duty to have a placement. In US, it doesn't work that way. There is no placement here. You are after your own looking for job.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a school is gonna place you somewhere. It doesn't work that way here. Here, you once all they care about, you graduate and you give them money, and then it's your job to find your duty to find your job. Because the day you are done with your degree, you're out.
Okay.
So just to let you know, there is no placement in US by schools. It only happens when you go for an MBA degree or something, because they charge you probably 5 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the realities you have to understand. And I'm not saying that things won't work out for you. You will not be able to find a job. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you will be able to find a job, not probably in aerospace sector, but something totally different, which you care about or not. That's up to you. But then you have to justify why you want to do that job, because many students come here to do degree in mechanical or materials. That's different, because they can work at anywhere. You know what I mean? It's very generic. Everybody needs materials, so they can work for Apple, they can work for Google, because they make products too. A mechanical engineer, a design engineer, everybody needs it. And probably if you have a degree in aerospace but you don't care, you may hone your skills in those areas, like designing something, or becoming really good in analyzing a structure. But then, as I said, you will not be doing work for an aerospace company. You might be working for a civil engineering company who wants someone to hire for structural analysis, and you're really good in running simulation. Yeah, just give me 1 second. Sorry, my daughter, I had to give her some homework. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So Isai, these are the things that I told you the truth, right? So just analyze those things
Okay.
before you make another the step to come over here. And one
Okay.
thing also,
What about the job fairs that I heard about? Like I spoke to peer alumni over there, so they told me that there are certain job fairs over
but
here.
they're
So
useless.
okay.
I mean, they are useless. Job fairs are the most useless thing in universities. Trust me.
Okay.
Don't think those job fairs like placement. Job fairs, basically what happens, there's obligation of a company to come there. So if somebody will come and you will give them your CV, and he will say, yeah, go apply online. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
The career services is most stupid thing here. It doesn't. I was when I had the same mindset, right? When I came here, like, hey, job fair, so I prepared my CV, and then I went there, and it was the most stupid thing you can go. And then you really go there to collect souvenirs, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are nothing compared like what happened by universities in India, where they do your interview and then they hire you and they give you offer letter. It doesn't work that way. No, they will
Okay.
come and they will tell about their company. When you introduce them, they will say, yeah, we have positions, yeah, and then they will say, go to career website and apply online. And
Okay.
then they go to every place and they do that. The good thing is, what happens is like the universities you have got admit, those are good universities, so you will find most of the good companies will come there, but those good universities are gonna ask you, do you have a citizenship? That's my point. So it becomes so useless for an international student. Is like, why even they come and ask me?
Yeah, right.
Like, so
So
let's
like, how do other international students manage? Like, if I know that a lot of international students, not just India, across the globe, people come there to study aerospace. So, like, how then they manage about like
I mean,
what do?
I can tell you very honestly, you, I work for a space company, and I can tell you, I don't know anyone who is an international student and is working for Lockheed. I don't know anyone in my organization. Everyone here
Okay.
is born here. I am I would say in that sense I'm a little bit of exception, but then the only reason I was able to get a job here because after PhD, I got citizenship, and then I was able to. So I'm a citizen. I'm not a Indian citizen anymore. Do you understand my point? So
Okay.
many people confuse in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sense. So just to let you know, I was an Indian citizen, but I'm not. Last year, when I joined this company, I became a U.S. citizen before getting a job here. So that's the only reason I can get a job here. Otherwise, I couldn't. So
Okay.
that is my point is like even if you are good at it, I'm not questioning that you're not good. You understand my point. I'm
Understood.
just questioning
Yeah.
that this is the requirement. There's no way you can get a job.
So how difficult is it to get a US citizenship nowadays after masters or like after PhD?
After PhD, yes, but not after masters for an Indian national.
Okay.
After masters, you cannot get green card at all. There is no possibility. I mean, the waiting line is 75 years. After PhD, if if you have done really good job, and there is a process to it. There is a video I'm going to post about how to get a citizenship after PhD. I spoke to a couple who were PhDs and they were asking me, so I made a video. But that's the only way for an Indian national to get a citizenship. The first step is to get a PhD. There's no way otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to let you know is if you find any master student and working for a company, most likely they will be on visa, and then that's other problem because they always fear about losing the job. I mean, I can tell you, I lost in last 10 years, I lost my job 2 times, and if I didn't had a green
Oh.
card, I would have came back to India. I mean, you just watch my videos. There are students who lost their job and they were in India calling me asking up for help. I couldn't, because that fear is always going to be there in your mind then, and then you have to understand like how much loan you are taking. So just take a conscious decision. I'm not trying to scare you because your question is very valid. Like so many students come, what they do, they take risk. Can you do that? It's up to you. And not many people actually know about the risk. Like for example, you're asking me this question, right? I'm giving you an answer, but not many people know. Just like me, I didn't know that what's going to happen. Not that I had a loan. I came with full scholarship, but my point here is I had no idea like what's going to happen. Nobody was there to tell me. And lot of people come because they don't even think about it. They probably think, hey, I'm interested. All they care about their interest, which is fine. But then if you have to pay money from your pocket, then it's not fine, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just think about it. And as he said, just because you can get a citizenship after PhD doesn't mean you have to do PhD, because PhD is totally different. PhD is totally different thing. If you are not comfortable, I won't never advise anybody to do PhD. PhD, you can, the only reason you do PhD is because you are interested in it, not because you will get something out of it. Because I can tell you, master's student probably makes more money than a PhD student. PhD has nothing to do with making more money. A bachelor's probably make much
Right.
more
Right.
money. Bachelor student working on Facebook probably makes much more money. So my point here is PhD has nothing to do with money. PhD has nothing to do. It's just You do it because you are interested in that science and the research. And if you're not that person, don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not because you will become a citizen one day. No, that's not the criteria. Because PhD is not an easy path. It's not going to come very easy. It's a challenging path. Masters is very easy to
Right.
do. Masters is like much easier than doing bachelor's, actually, trust me. I don't know whether you're going to do with thesis or without thesis. If you're going to do without thesis, it's like piece of cake, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, that was also one of my questions, because one university has non-thesis and another has thesis.
Yeah,
Which one should I prefer?
but again, what are you going to get out of that thesis? Like, if you are interested in research, if you want to get a taste of writing thesis because you have never done it, yeah, okay. But if your thinking is just, I want to finish it and get a job as soon as possible, I mean, I don't see a value there to do a thesis.
Okay.
Because it's not like if you have a thesis masters, you're going to get some amazing job. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, as far as your grades are fine, you will get a job.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, many people do masters and thesis is because they are interested in doing PhD, because that's the only reason I can think of. Like they're interested in doing research, and they want to know, like, before getting into PhD, what a research feels like. You know what I mean? Before they deep dive.
Right.
So they say, okay, let's me do a thesis and let me write a paper. How does it feels? And then they say, yeah, it's not for me. Okay. But if you already know, like, there is no way all I need is get out and do a job and make money, then what's the point?
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Even in industry, I would say, if you're not working for R&D sector or something, if you're deep diving into research for an industry or the industry you're working in, I'm not sure if the PhD helps. Master's student is fine. Yeah. I mean, many students, that's what I'm saying, is like, they do masters without thesis and then they work for a company and then they do an MBA. I would say that's a good path, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, just make your conscious decision that based on this information, what you would like to do. But keep that in mind that these questions will come right away the day you will land up. And you have to understand, as when you have a loan, you're in a constant pressure of 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 paying it and things like that.
Yeah.
Because as I said to you, the good thing that you got admitted to these universities, but you have to understand also these universities have are in one way or the other are parasites. They rely on your money. That's how they run their business, right? So you have to
Right.
understand, is it worth paying that much money? Yesterday I was talking to a student who got admit at Texas, not Texas, and some other university. I forgot the name. Some Columbia, no, something. So that tuition was like 2 times, and I told him, I said, why you want to pay twice the money? Like, what's the point? I mean, my always advice would be, don't pay. I mean, if you have to pay zero, that's even better, right? So there's no point. You should never pay. Nobody should pay for education. So because a lot of people pay education loan for MBAs because the salaries and things like that you get an MBA after that are sometimes they're good. Depends on where you graduate from. But trust me, that loan they sometimes they end up paying for the next 10 years or so, because that's a loan on interest. And same thing, if you have one loan and then you don't have a job, and you don't want to be in that situation. I have talked to a lot of students who were in that situation, especially after COVID. And one thing also I will tell you, let's say this COVID situation in India doesn't help and things like that, and they say, hey, join online, you can come next year. My advice would be defer it rather than joining online, because there is no point paying that much money and sitting at your home and taking class. You know what I mean? I don't do that.
Yeah.
It would be
Right.
waste of money. Yeah, I have spoken to those students also, and because it's first of all, 2 years is a very small year. You are paying for not only for the classes or the education, but you're also paying for the environment and the things like that. And even here, I'm taking some classes for my MBA from Ohio State. I mean, every classes are online. So really, we are not getting used to that thing. They're saying that next semester is all going to be because everything is fine here, but who knows, you know?
Right.
Okay, Sai. Any other questions?
Yeah. So if you said that big companies like those companies they require US citizens, but like what about the medium-sized companies? Even they require or like
Everyone. If they,
everyone?
yeah, if they have a, see, you have to understand. I will send you a news from U.S. Congress or U.S. White House somewhere. There's a news. Usually, all these companies they rely on government contracts. Okay, so what they do is actually, let's say, for example, if company A is want to make a aircraft, okay, they don't sometimes they don't make whole the part. They say, okay, why don't we give this much money that we got from government to this smaller company B, which can make this particular part that we need. But eventually the money is coming from the government, right?
Yeah.
So the point here is, if you're using government money, nobody can hire you. You understand my point?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and you can look at that news. It came, I mean, it was before also. So I would say, again, I will give you an example. Let's say Lockheed wants to make F9 F-16s, and they're saying, hey, you guys gonna make a company X, you're gonna make this particular component for F-16, right? So that particular company, because the money is coming from that grant or that particular portion, they're not going to hire. And most of the time what happens, you work on multiple projects, not like you are working on this particular project, right? So companies are very want to make sure that even the facility you are using, they say sometimes you can't even enter the facility if you are not a green card. So even let's say if they have a project which doesn't require a US citizenship or a green card, but you can't enter the facility because there are other projects that are going on. Let's say a guy next to you is working on a project which doesn't require, so they won't hire you. You know what I mean? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that no one will entertain in that sense.
Okay. Okay. So like as an aerospace engineer, what are the domains that I can work on? Because right now I am from mechanical background and I was thinking of entering into propulsion. But maybe after studying certain other subjects, I may get interested in other fields. So what do you think about all those different domains?
I think I already gave answer that side. Yeah, I already gave answer to you for that. Is you have to develop certain skill set. So for example, if
Yeah.
you say I'm really good in doing structural analysis, then you don't have to work for aerospace. You can work for a civil engineering company. You understand my point?
Yeah.
You have to develop a
But
skill set.
with on an F1 visa, if I'm having a master's degree in aerospace, is it like I have to work on an OPT for just aerospace companies, or I can work anywhere I want? Because I
You
was
can
also
work at
thinking
you
of
can work at
taking.
anywhere you want.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that is the reason I had this concern and I came up with a solution. I thought like this might be one good solution. I was thinking of taking up a minor with some computer or data science background so that I can merge something and I can work someplace where citizenship is not required.
Yeah,
That was
but
also one.
as I said, OPT doesn't mean that you have to you need to work for aerospace company. No.
Okay,
As
okay,
far as it's an engineering company, yeah, you can't work at McDonald's washing dishes because that's not allowed. But you can definitely work for a company which requires your certain skill set. That's what I'm saying. Like you will find a lot of people who, first of all, you won't find a lot of international student on aerospace or something. They're very few. You will find a lot
right,
of them in
right.
computer science. You will find a lot of them on mechanical materials, all that, but very few. But those who work on aerospace, you will find they are looking for job in other companies which has nothing to do with aerospace.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more question. University of Illinois has a master's program of 1 year if I do a non-thesis. If I get interested, I can approach a professor and I can convert it into quick thesis. And University of Michigan has just non-thesis program, and people like complete in 1.5 or 2 years.
I would
So
say
what do you think? Like,
I would say, dude, you're paying from your pocket. I don't know how rich are you, but if I was you, I will do 1 year and done. I mean,
okay,
what's the point of paying another extra year of money?
okay.
Because my point here
Yeah,
is all the
if I get
all,
a non-thesis, if I get a thesis program under a professor, then that is fully funded because I'm doing research under him. So I just have to
you
pay 1 year of
again,
fees.
you have to check with that. I'm not sure. You have to check with the professor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because usually I can tell you that that the professors are not willing to pay to a master's student.
Okay.
Yeah. They already have PhD students to work with.
Okay.
Usually, you may be lucky, but usually, because you're going to universities which are very competitive. I mean, there are many students who have full money full in their pocket, and they just want to work. They don't care about money, right? So that's my point. Unless until you come
Right.
out as a very exceptional student, and they really have to pay their PhD students, and becoming with COVID and everything is becoming challenge to pay PhDs too because of the degrees in TA and so forth. But my point here is, don't speculate on anything. If you don't have anything in hand, just make your decision based on that. Okay? If
Yeah.
things become fine, that's fine. But what I'm saying, that prepare for the worst. That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
prepare for the worst. Like, okay, I have to pay for 2 years. Now what I do? Maybe things are better. You will be glad.
Okay.
So if I would
So
I would do just 1 year and done. Why to pay 2 year of tuition then just 1 year? Because the benefits that a 2 year gets, I think 1 year also gets the same benefit, like OPT and everything. So
right.
what you're gonna gain after two, like having a 2 year. That's my point.
Right.
Yeah. If they say, hey, we
But
will guarantee you something, then I can understand. But there's no guarantee. So
okay. But if at all I come to India again, then in India it's like people don't consider 1 year masters as a complete masters. They want like I'm talking about government sector jobs like ISRO and HAL and other stuff. So they want 2 year masters complete. So they want like the master should be of a
you,
2 year duration. So
I can
what do
tell
you
you,
think on that?
yeah, but I can tell you for sure that ISRO and any company won't be able to hire you because they have already a lot of good students who have done MTech from IITs and ISC. Again, don't believe on speculation.
Yeah.
Even if you do 2 year, it's not like they are going to throw red carpet at you. There are a lot of students who have done masters or PhDs and are sitting in India from US, and I don't have a job.
Okay.
I mean, as I said, there are amazing students and really, really hardworking students that comes out from IIC Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Delhi. That's their first choice if they have to hire someone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, just I'm telling you the reality here. Just don't speculate anything. You're saying this will happen and that will happen, and that's it doesn't work that way. You should know the reality,
Mm.
and this is the reality what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, it will be, trust me, it will be very hard for you to compete from some master student who is doing his master's or PhD from these institutions. Even if you get graduate from any of those universities, those are very smart people. Doesn't mean that because they work very hard. It's not easy to crack a gate. It's very easy to get admitted US universities. It's very difficult to crack a gate, right? So you have to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, getting a admission to US universities or any universities is very easy. It's the most easiest path anybody can take, right? Because it's like you apply and they need a student and you get it, as far as you have a decent GRE and TOEFL score. But
Yeah.
can you clear IIT exam? Can you clear GATE exam and then go? You know how tough it is. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
These students are very smart and don't underestimate. That's the reason I'm saying, as you said, I'm not saying something very new, because if you just go to ISRO or on their website and see who are those students who have done PhD or masters from these universities and get a job there, right? And you will find a lot of the students are coming from very small universities, from MTech, from these IITs or ISCs or PhDs from there. You'll find that that's only.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
that's what I'm saying,
if
like
we compare these
you're paying
situations with
you're
like,
you're you're paying money for the brand only, and how great that brand is. You are okay to pay that much money? That's up to you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But as you said,
So
that doesn't mean you
if
can't
I
find a job. You can find a job, but maybe not in aerospace.
okay,
Hey, yes, I have just 5 minutes, so just finish your talk, and because I have to
sure,
go to the
sure,
other
sure, sure.
um,
Yeah.
meeting.
So, like my main purpose of coming to US is to get exposure and make new connections. So, you think like, should I stay in India and do masters from here? Because the thing is like, I want to experience abroad culture and I want to broaden my
I, yeah, I
research
mean,
things.
yeah,
So,
yeah. There is nothing wrong in it. All I'm saying is to get that exposure and you get that networking, are you willing to pay 70, 80 lakhs? That's my point.
yeah, the University of Illinois actually for 1 year it costs the tuition fees is around 30 lakhs. But for Michigan, both the universities, both the year compared, it's going up to 70, 75.
That's what I'm saying. Are you okay with the paying that much money? Because that's the easiest thing anybody can do. I mean, we are not living in 60s. We are living in, like, a 21st century. Things are different now. I mean, you say I want to make a network and all that, and I'm willing to pay that much. I don't buy that, to be honest with you, because there are many other ways you can do that. Here's the thing. A master's or a PhD student at those ISCs or IITs have a very good international exposure too. It's not like they don't have. My point here is, what you're going to do after that. What's your plan to do after that? Because you're paying that much money. Because as he said to you, you can pay 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, and I'm pretty sure you can find a job. But is that job is something that you thought about? I'm going to get it, and that is the reason I'm paying it. Maybe that will not happen, but maybe you will find a job somewhere. And because, as I said, you are
Right,
not the only one who is coming. I think 50,000, 60,000 students come every year, right?
right.
Right. So that's my point here is you will able to find a job, but it's not going to happen to those companies. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah. And just don't speculate on things like this will happen and that will happen. Prepare for the worst. But
Yeah,
if you ask me, is how risky it is to come here and do masters, and then do I have to worry about my loan? I would say, everybody take that risk, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Every students who come here and have a loan take that risk, but eventually life becomes fine because they eventually able to find a job, maybe not at the place where they want to do, but somewhere where they can make a decent living or something. And eventually, who knows, everybody's things work out so way, as far as you are pretty much oriented on your goals, right? But this loan thing
right.
will definitely hang on the head. And I told you the reality about looking for jobs at certain places, and it's not, because that girl I'm telling you, she's working as a supply chain for a for a company who makes parts for Tesla, as
Okay,
as a like a plant manager or something. Yeah. So just to let you know, this is the reality.
okay,
I
okay.
mean, I'm pretty sure that she never thought about that. I will send you a link to that video, but I don't think she thought about that. She always thought about working for making rockets and all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is happen. This happens. That's the reality.
Okay.
And she's not even from Michigan or somewhere. I mean, she's from other tier 2 universities. But okay, Sai. Hopefully that helps you.
Yeah, yeah. I like got cleared a lot of points.
Yeah, good. And as I said to you, is risk is going to be always there. So just make this calculated risk, and now you have information as you come, and as you take that
Right,
decision. So be prepared.
right.
and to do that. I would say
Yeah.
my only advice would be is if you decide to come, that's fine, but try to minimize loan as much as possible, because you have to understand what's your end goal. And your goal is finish masters, get a job. So minimize this and you will be fine.
Yeah. I was also thinking of masters. Like one last question. I was also thinking of startups. Like what is the scope of startup? Like an international student starting a startup. Is that possible in US
Now,
also?
with visa now.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, startup what? I mean, what are you going to do? You need.
Startup mainly. No, startup mainly in this infra aerospace domain, because I right now I have no questions to any WH question. I have no answers to any WH question. I just have this thought in my mind. Like if at all I get some idea, if at all like I see some potential in it, why not give it a shot?
I
So
mean,
that
I
was
would
also
say
one of
I won't discourage you because, Elon Musk did it, but he was a citizen.
yeah
That's what I'm trying to tell you is there are certain things
yeah
you cannot do because of certain reasons. And many people who do startup and all, they work really in software domain. You know what I mean?
okay
The core sector requires certain kind of because you have to understand to start up any tech company, all you need a laptop. The overheads are very small. But if you're working for a
Hmm.
product based company, you need money and then certain things associated with it. So that's a challenge.
So is it possible for an international student, if at all, like I have all the resources, is it possible?
Yeah, I mean, possible, but
Or
as I said, I can't tell you much because, as you said, then you have to work on getting contracts. And if they say, hey, because I know for sure one of the ways you can do a startup and fund yourself is to look for government money. And that's how most of the startup works. Even SpaceX, if you look at it,
Mhm.
the first contract they got is from NASA, right?
Right, right.
Because there is usually private sector doesn't fund immediately. You look for funds somewhere, and that's the government that you look for, and they won't fund you if you're not a citizen or a green card. They won't. There is requirements there.
Mhm.
That's my point. So you probably end up working with someone who has a startup, but then you have to worry about your own visa. I mean, who's going to sponsor your visa? A startup can't sponsor a visa. The
Okay.
story of the Flipkart guy is right. He was working for a Microsoft and nobody sponsored a visa for him. He didn't get H1, so came back India, started Flipkart. It is a story.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
visa becomes the trouble. Work good
Right.
for him. So okay, Sai, I had to leave, but hopefully this conversation was helpful to you. And as I said, once you come here, shoot me an email and be in touch. Okay?
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for your
Sure.
time.
Okay, bye.